True change starts from within self. June 4, 2014. Greetings, we are the Pleiadian Council of Nine. We come to you today to speak of developments in your world and within yourselves. There are many among the light workers who are presently undergoing various stages of waking up to whom and what they truly are. And then there is the greater population of the planet that has existed for numerous centuries, locked into an endless karmic wheel, unable to get off the merry-go-round. So, what is the difference between these two groups of people, and why should we bring it to your attention? First, the light workers volunteered or were sent here by their homeworlds as emissaries of light to embody upon Gaia, in order to imbue the planet with the benefit of the light that their souls carry within. Since millions of light workers have arrived in various waves through the last 40 to 70 years, with each increasing wave the light frequency of the planet has subtly but steadily increased. Pioneer souls have also long visited this world and have left teachings that have been interwoven into the fabric of your world religions. However, millions of light workers have embodied and are still coming in as babies, leading to a huge upsurge in the light quotient of the planet, as each succeeding wave of light makes it easier for souls of great light to even embody here. In fact, the light has increased so much that now the general population is slowly beginning to wake up and start through stages of spiritual development much like those of earlier generations of light workers. Yet many of these newly awakened do not have the language or understanding of the process which they are currently experiencing. Even many of the younger light workers, depending on their own consciousness levels and previous spiritual endeavors, may lack a certain degree of understanding, and may even think that they are going a little nuts, as they suffer through various bouts of ascension symptoms and mood swings. Each person, before they enter the path of initiation that leads to ascension, must clean their auric field of as much miscreations as they can manage. This process is done in layers. And due to the intensity of the cosmic rays that are currently blessings or bombarding this planet, the cleansing has also increased for many. Those who have not faced down their inner demons and released their hidden secrets and let go of old conditioning, will find themselves floundering in the waves of light beating upon the shore. Each person, individually, must face and integrate their darkness, that dweller on the threshold, the dark angel that seems to prevent you from moving forward onto your path. The dark angel is a part of self, the unacknowledged, unloved, forgotten parts of self that have been suppressed, repressed, or cast away due to some misunderstanding in earlier times. These teachings have long existed upon your planet, shared between master, guru and student, handed down verbally and kept secret for a long time, while the entire planet lay under the dominion of dark forces. Until you are willing to integrate the polarity that exists within yourself, you cannot aid others in their path effectively. Until you can subjugate your rational mind, the inner critic that constantly judges you and projects its own weaknesses and lack of understanding out onto others, you will be unable to enter the path of initiation. Since the planet is in the process of rising up in frequency, many light workers seem to believe that they do not have to do any work to ascend with her. And they wonder why they don't seem to be experiencing any changes outwardly in their lives. Everything seems to look the same to them. The same old scenarios are being played out throughout the planet, and nothing seems to have improved. We shall tell you that this is a mindset that everyone on the spiritual path will go through. How long you linger upon this frustrating plateau is totally dependent on your own efforts. And when we say effort, we mean that you must make the change to your mindset from within, and only you can do for yourself. In reality, this switch of how you feel about the world and what you begin to sense about yourself is a very subtle process at first. And it is easy. You just decide to think and feel differently about yourself. What is difficult at first is that you must constantly remind yourself that you now love yourself, that you like yourself, that you are a wonderful person, whose world wouldn't change if they thought that they could change themselves and do so easily and quickly. Once you begin to see yourself in a new light, this feeling begins to be extended towards viewing other people in a different light. You might find yourself suddenly understanding the motivations of why such and such would act in such a manner. You might not like the results, but you understand them better, nonetheless. A sense of compassion and a heartfelt feeling of love for others begin to permeate your being, and you begin to see your world in a different way too. Some things that may have disturbed you before may no longer bring forth the same degree of reaction. You see, dear ones, human beings have been programmed very effectively to react, unthinkingly, and most certainly, unfeelingly, at certain key words. In the Western world, some of those words are devil, bastard, bitch, and terrorist. The words changed, but the intent behind these outer symbols of control is the same, to keep you divided, within your own psyche and from those persons who share your world. These triggers are simply words. What is the old children's saying? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That saying really isn't true, because most children end up suppressing the fear, anger, despair, and self-hatred that are conjured up when they become the subject of bullying, or of any other kind of abuse. The hurt and ache are buried deep within your physical body, within your cells and connective tissue, and unless released by your own intent, will eventually go on to create disease and trouble in your life, or even future lives. So, make it your intent to release these old shadows of despair and hatred, of grief and fear. Utilize the gifts of the Spirit, such as the violet flame of the seventh ray, to release and wash away these shadows until you begin to feel lighter and freer of what has haunted you through the years of growing up. Transmutation and transformation can take a long time. It depends on your commitment and your willingness to release all self-criticism and criticism of others. Yet, those who come behind the first waves of light workers may find the way more easy than the stalwart pioneers did, for they had to clear up the heavy energies that were left behind by the last World War and the misuse of atomic energy in the detonations over Japan. Your societies have taught you that all your troubles have been caused by others, that you must hate, dislike, and even fight these others to protect your family, your cause, your country, your faith, or whatever you are cajoled to support. Many people can be easily convinced by authorities that everything to blame is because of people in some far distant land or because someone is manipulating the bank system, owns the politicians, are lying thieving bastards who want to dominate the world and so on. Whether your conditioning comes through mass media or alternative media, this kind of rhetoric is designed to control, divide and conquer. Be aware of what is going on, but seek to rise above the need to judge. You have all participated in dark deeds throughout your sojourn upon this planet, unless you are one who descended here for the first time, fresh and unsullied. If you are not aware of it, there is as much untruth being spread about through New Age teachings as there is truth. So it is up to each individual to learn how to discern what resonates for them. You will not want to read everything that you encounter, unless you can do so with an open mind. You need to be willing to see beyond the boundaries of your former understandings before your world will expand. You set the momentum of your development through the choices that you make and the actions that you take, every day and every moment. And until you are able to get beyond automatically reacting and shutting down, you may find your headway slowed down somewhat. Although you've been told otherwise, whatever actions and thoughts you take and make will not be held against you by us. We do not judge, but hold each of you within our hearts unconditionally. You are in the midst of undergoing one of the most challenging transitional times of the entire history, told and untold, of the human race upon this planet, and you wonder why we have not landed upon your shores by now. Dear ones, there is quite a bit of cleaning up to do before we can do this. We have visited your planet many times and have been doing so for thousands of years. We are literally your kin, not UFOs or ETs, but your star kin. Yes, we live on our ships or on other planets, dimensions and star systems, yet we share a common tie of humanity between us, that and for many of you, are a genetic lineage as well. Since we exist, live and function in the fifth dimension and higher, it takes tremendous effort on our part to descend into the heavier, and might we also say, highly polluted atmosphere of your planet now. Each of us who does make short landings has to undergo a thorough cleansing process before we are allowed back on our motherships where we reside, so as not to contaminate our own living quarters. We do not say these things to shame you, but to let you know that there remains some differences in our living environments that make it difficult for both sides to come together as one. When your planet finally resides fully within the fifth dimension and you walk upon her surface, you will know the difference. The air will be clean and fresh, colors will be more brilliant and numerous than before, plants and animals will seem more alive, and you, dear ones, will be walking within your glorious light bodies. Still, to get from where you are now to where you wish to be is still a process to be undertaken, first individual by individual. And then, as enlightened ones begin to recognize each other, you will come together, first in small groups and then in expanding circles of light, until your whole planet responds to the increase in frequency and there is a shift in the consciousness that connects all of you together as a human collective. Remember, dear ones, the physical ascension of the planet and of your physical bodies will take time. We understand that you will feel frustrated and even angry that the changes cannot occur instantly, but that is not the way of things. Your bodies need to adjust. The changes are now occurring at the molecular level and sooner or later, you will begin to see a difference, but for those who are the most sensitive among you, the change will manifest first in how they feel. And whether or not you believe this, the shift is taking place far more rapidly than we thought possible. So the presence of the huge numbers of light workers on the planet has made a tremendous difference for all of us. The best way to move quickly into the new world is to live through your heart. This goes against the grain of how most of you have been brought up, so at first it will seem to take some effort to release your desire to criticize and react. When you finally reach the point where you are willing to retire the inner critic, you can begin to relax and enjoy the process, which will have its difficult moments, yet you will be able to flow better with the energies. Relaxing the vigilance, while keeping your energy field cleared of debris, attachments, and entities is also important. This might seem contradictory, but we assure you that it is not. There are many excellent protective shields that you can erect around yourself energetically to protect yourself as you go through the day. Do not presume that the dark energies will not be attracted to your light or will ignore your sudden brilliance as you shine your inner being through prayer, meditation, and use of the rays of God. They will be attracted to you like moths to a flame, but rather than they getting burned, you might be affected by their energies instead. Many light workers have found much to their chagrin that for a time they have fallen under the influence of a dark one. You can free yourself or use the assistance of a qualified spiritual healer to release your field of the entities if you have an attachment. And listen to your heart, if you have misgivings about someone you are suddenly attracted to, who lives or believes in a way that is diametrically opposed to how you feel you should be. Your intuition should always be your guide. Learn to trust yourself and how you feel about something or someone, about activities, plans, about foods you should eat, and any manner of personal decisions. You are the only one who can and should decide upon your own destiny and the direction in which you wish to travel. You may find you wish to change your life quite a bit after you have truly stepped upon the path of initiation. It is life-changing and life-enhancing, but also challenging. Anyone who says otherwise is telling you an untruth. If you had wished to remain in the higher dimensions where life, at least from your current perspective, seems to be magical and easy, let us remind you again, that you volunteered to come to Gaia. You did so out of your love and sense of commitment and a desire to fulfill the will of God, to free this planet from the darkness which you now find yourself immersed within, much to your horror. You're a volunteer, dear one, so don't quit now and sit there whining about all the trouble in your life, but get to work. Release yourself from your own inner darkness, doubt, and despair, and then go out and assist others from what you have learned about your own experiences. You came here for a reason. Use your heart and intuition to guide you through the first steps until you are able to connect with your Christ Buddhic self and then with your I Am presence, with your inner guides and sort things out. Your world will change for the better, But first you must do your part, for that is why you came here. And now we will leave you, as our scribe tires, but we will return with more at a later time. Until then, may the blessings and love of Father, Mother, God enfold you and support you within their strength, wisdom, grace and beauty. Namaste. Channeled by Tezjima Amaria Kumara. www.bluedragonjournal.com